Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Uzair bin Mansoor from the 8th semester Department of Architecture.
And I am Yamaima Teresa Bakhtani from the 4th semester Department of Communication Design.
On behalf of the Indus Valley School of Art and Architecture, we warmly welcome you to the 26th Convocation ceremony. We request the guests to take their seats as the Convocation procession will commence promptly at 10 a.m.
127 students will receive a bachelor's degree, of whom 27 students from the Department of Architecture, 15 students from the Department of Interior Design, 32 students from the Department of Communication Design, 24 students from the Department of Textile Design, and 29 students from the Department of Fine Art. In addition, 2 students will receive a 4-year diploma in the Department of Textile Design. This is the 26th graduating class of the Faculties of Design and Fine Art and the 25th graduating class of the Faculty of Architecture.
The academic procession will be led by the graduating students, followed by the adjunct faculty, permanent faculty, and then by the heads of departments. The Executive Director, Dean of Academics, members of the Executive Committee, and members of the Board of Governors will then follow. Lastly, the Chairman of the Executive Committee, Mr. Adnan Asdar, will escort the Convocation speaker, Professor Kamil Khan Mumtaz.
As a matter of interest for our guests, the design of our Convocation robes is based on the abba, which was worn on ceremonial occasions in the Mughal courts. The material selected is the hand-loom cotton susi, traditionally woven in Sindh. It is embroidered in patterns evolved from the Mughal designs. The headgear is a combination of the Mughal turban and the hunza cap, worn even today by both men and women of the northern mountainous areas.
All participants of the procession wear off-white khadi, the material woven at the school campus under the supervision of master weaver Muhammad Altaf Ansari. The theme music for the Convocation, based on Rag Malhar, was especially composed for Indus Valley School of Art and Architecture by Sitar maestros, late Ustad Imdad Hussain and his son, Ustad Ikhlaq Hussain.
This year, as in the past, the thesis projects of the graduating students are being exhibited. Guests are invited to view the exhibition after the conclusion of the Convocation ceremony. The exhibition will remain open until this evening.
The tradition of planting a tree on the campus by the graduating class will continue this year. The new graduates will plant a gulmohar tree immediately after the conclusion of the Convocation ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, academic procession is about to commence.
I now request the guests to rise and join our students for the national anthem. Foundation year students, under the guidance of Ustad Ihtishamuddin Hussain, will present the national anthem.
The Registrar will request the Chairman of the Executive Committee to declare the Convocation open.
I request the Chairman Executive Committee to declare the Convocation open.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I declare the Convocation open.
We begin the proceedings with the recitation of the Holy Quran from Surah Al-Alaq by Neha Siraj, Department of Communication Design.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق اقرأ وربك الأكرم الذي علم بالقلم علم الإنسان ما لم يعلم كلا إن الإنسان ليطغى أن رآه استغنى إن إلى ربك الرجعى أرأيت الذي ينهى عبدا إذا صلى أرأيت إن كان على الهدى أو أمر بالتقوى أرأيت إن كذب وتولى ألم يعلم بأن الله يرى كلا لئن لم ينته لنسفعا بالناصية ناصية كاذبة خاطية فليدع نادية سندع الزبانية كلا لا تطعه واسجد واقترب صدق الله العظيم. Recite in the name of your Lord who created man from a clinging substance. Recite, and your Lord is the most generous, who taught by the pen, taught man that which he knew not. No, indeed man transgresses, because he sees himself self-sufficient. Indeed, to your Lord is the return. Have you seen the one who forbids a servant when he prays? Have you seen if he is upon guidance or enjoys righteousness? Have you seen if he denies and turns away? Does he not know that Allah sees? No. If he does not desist, we will surely drag him by the forelock, a lying, sinning forelock. Then let him call his associates. We will call the angels of hell. No, do not obey him, but prostrate and draw near to Allah.
The Executive Director of Indus Valley School of Art and Architecture, Ms. Samina Rais Khan, will present the welcome address.
Chairman Executive Committee, Janab Adnan Asdar Sahab, founders of the school, members of the Board of Governors, members of the Executive Committee, Chairman Finance and Planning Committee, faculty members, IVS alumni, and proud parents, ladies and gentlemen, including the graduating class of 2019. Assalamu alaikum and welcome to the 26th convocation of the school. On behalf of IVS graduate, the faculty and the board members, it is my privilege to welcome Professor Kamil Khan Mumtaz as the keynote speaker to the 26th convocation. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the third consecutive year that we are beginning the ceremony by observing 1 minute silence. IVS faculty member Madiha Ejaz passed away in February 2019. Madiha was an IVS alumna and had been an assistant professor at the Department of Communication Design. She graduated in 2005 and then went for her MFA as a Fulbright scholar to Parsons New School for Design in New York. She made a profound contribution to the pedagogical and artistic landscape to our campus and the city at large. I request all of us to observe 1 minute silence and remember Madiha in our prayers. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I will share some activities, some achievements, some directions that the Indus Valley has taken during 2019. IVS launched its interdisciplinary graduate program in art and design. The program is grounded in the overall mission of the school. It reinforces the belief that the art and artists play a foundational role in shaping human society. MPhil in art and design, critical and creative practices surpasses the disciplinary and hierarchical distinctions in the visual arts and fosters interdisciplinary research and practice. It is hoped that IVS graduate studies will enable both our graduates and established practitioners to broaden the scope of their existing work and research interest. I congratulate Director Graduate Study, Associate Professor Sadia Salim, and the Dean of Academics of this school for taking this school to this benchmark. 127 students are passing out as the 26th batch of 2019. Before this batch, ladies and gentlemen, 1,765 alumni have been sent back to the community as alumni, and they are serving this community and society in multiple ways as artists, designers, and architects. There are alumni, ladies and gentlemen, in IVS faculty who have evolved through their individual and initial roles and now emerging on the international arena, recognized internationally through their contribution, standing out distinctly as IVS is getting proactively close to its Vision 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, 2019 witnessed a number of IVS alumni winning ADA Magazine Awards for a variety of categories for related professional practices in Pakistan. The winning alumni included Sara Mahmood, Ali Raza Dosal, Maryam Iftikhar, Zoral Naik, Hussain Lagdawala, Salman Javed, Bilal Yusuf, Mustafa Mehdi, and architect Moina Niazi. Architect Bisma Askari was appointed as the youngest honorary secretary for the Institute of Architects, Pakistan. Along with this, she won the post of chairperson-elect for the Arc Asia Committee of Young Architects, representing young architects in 21 Asian countries, including Pakistan. Another alumnus, Yusra Askari, was elected Pakistan lead chair of the prestigious Asia Society, a global non-profit organization, the leading force in creating closer ties between Asia and the Western society through arts, education policy, and business outreach. IVS alumnus Ahmad Ansari successfully defended his PhD dissertation in April this year. Ahmad is the first communication design graduate from IVS to receive a PhD in transition design from Carnegie Mellon University in USA. IVS alumna Adila Suleiman has been emerging as an international Pakistani artist with solos in Singapore and Dubai, whose work is also selected for international group exhibitions. I will mention just one as Burnished Tarnish, together with 7 other world-renowned artists in Palette Art Gallery, New Delhi, India. Her work, Killing Fields of Karachi, during Karachi Biennale 2019, was featured in Art Forum, New York Times, The Guardian, Wall Street Journal, BBC, Voice of America, The Wire, and Art News in 2019, and created a global debate on social and print media to recognize and to value the freedom of expression of the artist. She is the first alumnus faculty of IVS about whom an international monograph, Not Everyone's Heaven, is being printed by Schira Publishing Press, Milan, Italy. The monograph will be available in spring 2020 as a published volume. Another alumna, Tazeen Hussain, co-chaired the Karachi Art Directory, a project of Karachi Biennale Trust, which was launched in August 2019. The directory brings practicing artists with the contemporary practices as well as those engaged in traditional and popular practices like calligraphy and truck art on the same art platform for the first time. Global GRED Award on Sustainable Fashion Design. Can you rethink fashion? Alumni Zafar Ehsan Naqvi and Nida Khan, textile design graduates, participated in the contest and got themselves positioned as the top 10 fashion design thinkers. Together with the alumni body, IVS faculty members are also making similar valuable contribution to their alma mater. Associate Professor Munawwar Ali Sayyed from the Foundation Program is the public vote prize winner and amongst the 30 finalists to receive recognition for their contributions to Asian art. He was selected out of the 450 regional nominations as commemorated by the Sovereign Art Foundation for their 2019 Sovereign Asian Art Prize for Munawwar's work, My Third Story in English. Haider Ali Naqvi from the Department of Fine Art is about to return after attending a 3-month-long residency at Guestwork, London, UK. His residency was fully funded by Charles Wallace Trust and Rangoonwala Foundation. Haider Ali Naqvi is also one of the recipients of this year's Imran Mir Art Prize instituted by the Imran Mir Art Foundation. It is a very competitive award contest and invites an international jury. Ladies and gentlemen, Imran Mir was one of the founders of IVS. During 2019, a number of IVS faculty and alumni members continued to participate in national and international conferences, exhibitions, seminars under school-supported professional development activities. Zarmeena Shah was the speaker at the Asian Curatorial Forum 2019, hosted by the School of Arts and Aesthetics, Jawaharlal Nehru University in New Delhi. Sami Chauhan and Zarmeena both represented IVS at Spaces and Places Interdisciplinary Conference, Belgium in 2019. Umar Wasim participated in Listening for the Future, a new North and South symposium in association with Colombo Art Biennale in Sri Lanka. Mahwish Ghulam Rasool attended Design Education and Practice Conference in New York and read her paper. She also presented her paper on New Pedagogy in Design Studio, Case Study of Adaptive Reuse in a conference in France. Sami Chauhan, the faculty in the Department of Architecture, presented his research in the City as a Commons 2019 Research Symposium at University of Pavia in Italy. The school design faculty, Tanzil Saeed, Amir Mirza, and Alfia Halai, attended the Dubai Design Week in November along with the entire student body, of their particular class. IVS students are also contributing significantly to their school while they are still studying. Uzair Mansoor, the student of the 4th year architecture, won the worldwide Architizer competition for his sketch, Between Possibilities and Limitations. Uzair's entry was a drawing representing human existence in a rapidly globalizing world. The political and economic framework takes us to the endless possibilities through his drawing. Mubarak Uzair, The Department of Textile Design participated at the New and Next University Competition for Textile Design and submitted design projects of Insia Amir, Umme Safa Amin, and Hiba Saqib from the graduating class. Out of a total of 18 international submissions, 3 universities were selected worldwide by a 5-member jury of international experts. University of Bolton from the UK, Lucerne School of Design and Art in Switzerland, and Indus Valley School of Art and Architecture from Pakistan. The 3 universities, Pakistan particularly, won this year's design competition at the 50th edition of the world's largest and most prestigious home textile fair, Heimtext, scheduled to take place in Frankfurt, Germany from 7th to 10th January, 3 weeks down the line. Aromatic screens by Hiba Saqib from the Department of Textile Design is the winning designs of the New and Next University competition and will be presented at the Heimtext 2020. Communication design students Ariba Goreja, Amina Mansoor, Amtul Hafiz, Intisab, Jamshed Charna, and Inama Mustafa were part of Focal Point, a publishing event organized by the Sharjah Art Foundation. Amina Mansoor and Jamshed Charnaz, who are the students of the Communication Design Department, works was selected for We the People, We the Arts, and their works were displayed at PNCA in Islamabad. Iman Jahangir, Fine Art third-year student's photograph, The Real Life Hero, was shortlisted for Royal Overseas League Photography Exhibition 2019 in the UK. Iman is currently in London attending and participating in the exhibition. Parallel with the undergraduate program and its activities, the continuing education program is furthering school's mission of reaching out to the diverse learning groups through its educational programs. From humanities, social sciences, art, design, and photography to foreign languages, creative writing, education, professional studies, and so much more. The continuing education has developed a host of short and 6-month diploma courses that are open to the general public, certificate programs that enhance professional growth of participants and propels their knowledge forward. The continuing education portfolio has expanded tremendously in the past 10 years under his director, Rashid Noorani. And now the CEP is in the process of offering a string of advanced diploma programs in 2020. This year, CEP broke all previous registration records for its outrageous summer courses offered for 6 to 14 age group. A total of 405 students registered for this summer's camp this year. CEP, in collaboration with Aga Khan Youth and Sports Board, also offered a winter camp in Gilgit and Baltistan in last winters, providing training to over 300 local carers. Over 1,000 learners participated in different short courses, diplomas, and workshops offered by CEP as a parallel school in the evening in 2019. IVS adjunct faculty Mohammad Zishan was the curator of the second iteration of the Karachi Biennale. KB19 was organized by the KB Trust in October 2019. A number of IVS faculty members participated, and IVS campus was one of the sites of KB19, where one of the leading projects, the Mangrove, which was an investigation of the unique coastal ecosystem of the Karachi, was organized under school's founder, Noorjahan Bilgrami. Mariam Abdullah Library organized its 4th annual book fair. This year, Janab Adil Salahuddin, Pakistan-renowned artist and postage stamps designer, was invited for a discussion on reimagining the future of books and postage stamps in the digital age. Adil Salahuddin, Arshi Aziz, Ruqayya Rizwan, Rabia Ali, Faridi from Notre Dame Institute discussed the future of the printed books and postage stamps in the age of social media and digital communication. To remember and to pay tribute to the legendary Urdu humorist and satirist Mushtaq Ahmad, an evening of Dastan Goi was arranged by Mariam Abdullah Library at the Indus Valley School in September. The Dastan Goi was arranged in collaboration with NAPA, National Academy of Performing Arts. The school has also arranged an awareness-raising session, Peaceful Coexistence of Animals and Human, which was arranged in collaboration with the Society for the Protection of Animal Rights. Zain Mustafa from SPAR was the facilitator. The cruel ways animals such as dogs, cats, monkeys, bears, birds, and elephants are trained and treated in real life was the topic of discussion. The talk was intended to empower students and staff to become vocal against injustices inflicted to the animals in our society. The Department of Textile Design, in collaboration with the Japanese Consulate Karachi, organized a talk on the traditional Japanese kimono and yukata presented by the Deputy Consul General Mr. Katsunori Ashida. Following the talk, 6th semester textile students have designed a collection of garments inspired by the kimono and yukata art technique, which was showcased at the Japan Fest in November 2019. The U.S. Consulate General Karachi has arranged a lecture with cultural heritage preservation experts, Dr. Laura Tedesco and Dr. Asma Ibrahim. Professor Tedesco is the U.S. Department of State's Bureau of South and Central Asian Affairs in the Washington, D.C. And Dr. Asma Ibrahim is the senior archaeologist, museologist, and conservationist, and currently is the director of the State Bank Museum. Students from NAD and volunteers from Sin Exploration and Adventure Society also participated in the session. Sears, in consultation with Dr. Asma Ibrahim and the IVS Nasarwanji Building Committee, is working with us to address issues that the Nasarwanji building is facing currently. IVS Alumni Show returned in August 2019 in collaboration with JS Bank Limited. In all, 17 alumni from different batches participated in this exhibition. I am pleased to report that Mariam Abdullah Library has now completely shifted to a new library software, Koha. All library regular work is now being carried out through this software. Koha is designed for holistic library collection management and makes effective use of automation tools. All IVS users now have access library database within and even outside the campus. Congratulations to the library staff for making it happen. The Agha Hassan Abdi Textile Resource Center is now in the expansion phase because we need more space and facilities. Currently, storage and display space has been added to enhance the effective utilization by the students and faculty. This year, renovation of the Department of Communication Design was envisioned and designed by architect Moina Niazi. Based on the concept of recycle and reuse the renovation, it was designed in such a way that existing materials and fixtures were reused to build and refurbish the department. The departmental renovation following this theme comes at a time when the communication design curriculum is also being rethought and a new vision for the department has emerged, focusing on responsible and innovative designers. Ladies and gentlemen, as some of you are aware that IVS is expanding its campus by adding 4th and 5th floor. A number of logistical things required to achieve this goal. The Board of Governors has approved the plan in 2017. Unfortunately, there has been a constant delay and we are still waiting for the Sindh Building Control Authority's permission. There is a great demand on the space at the moment in the campus, and we hope that as soon as this permission will come, we will start the construction work. I have promised this nearly 2 years ago in my 2017 speech, and still I am hoping that it will start soon. The buildings is being constructed with the generous donation from Tawfiq Chinoy, Farhana Mauji, and Rashid Abdullah Sahab through their cash donation, and the in-kind donation from International Steel Limited, IBL, and Pioneer Cement Limited. Thank you very much to our donors. Ladies and gentlemen, it is important to highlight how we are reaching to different marginalized communities, and our financial assistance and scholarship scheme is designed to support the education of financially challenged students. During 2019, the school provided a record rupees 17.3 million for this purpose to 109 students in the undergraduate program. The deficit of rupees 9.42 million in the beginning of 2019 was offset by the community support coming from Mr. Tawfiq Chinoy, Mr. Iftikharul Hussain, Mr. Ahmad Iqbal Jumani, Mr. Iqbal Ibrahim Teli, MS Akhtarun Nisa, Mr. Zubair Sumro, Mr. Fuad Hashmi, Gulf Construction, Aftab Adamji Trust, and Dr. Shamsun Nisa. During the current year, earlier beneficiaries of this scheme refunded rupees 2.24 million only back to the scheme. For 2020, the school has made fresh commitment to 38 new students at a cost of rupees 7.54 million. Existing 74 students will continue to receive the support, thus making a total 112 students will be benefited from this scheme. There is a forecast of some deficit amount, and again we will go back to the community for support. We hope the scheme is really benefiting the people who need it. This year, IVS has established Asim Butt Endowment Fund for scholarships from a generous grant of rupees 4 million from Mr. Zahid Butt and MS Amna Zahid of Asim Butt Foundation. The income of the fund will be used for awarding scholarships. The school has also received a commitment from Orange Tree Foundation for establishing 5 Orange Tree scholarships in the area of architecture, textile design, and interior design. The Orange Tree Foundation scholarships are unique as they will also provide material and transportation costs to the deserving student. 2 more scholarships for material support to fine arts students have been established. Uzma Ahmad Material Scholarship and Khurram Khan Art Foundation Scholarship for materials. They will be available from 2020 and it's an annual feature then. Ladies and gentlemen, today the Chairman Board of Governor Zahid Bashir is not with us. He is fell ill and currently hospitalized. Kindly pray for his fast recovery. In his absence, Chairman Executive Committee Janab Adnan Asdar Sahab is presiding this convocation. As you all know that the commitment and excitement of the statutory body is an integral part of the school's life. This year, 3 members will retire from the Board of Governors after completing their tenure. Mr. Farooq Sumar, MS Sara Jameel, and Professor Niloufar Halai. They will be obviously replaced by new members who will be inducted in the 28th Annual General Meeting of the IVS Society, which is to be held in January. I am personally grateful to all the retiring members who have not only given their time and valuable advice at all times, but very efficiently and effectively contributed in meetings, in the meetings of the Board of Governors. In addition to that, after serving, In addition to that, after serving the school for nearly 13 plus years, I will also retire during 2020. This is my last convocation as the serving executive director of the school. I would like to thank the staff, faculty, all the well-wishers, donors, government functionaries who contributed to my role to run the school, particularly the residents of Clifton Block 2, Port Basin Police Thana officer who were always there to support on one single telephone call. I hope this is the best way to serve the school, At the end, I would like to congratulate. Thank you. At the end, I will like to congratulate the beaming faces sitting on my right side, and they are about to enter into this unique positioning which will give them the title of the alumni of Indus Valley School of Art and Architecture. I wish you well for making a debut in real life. Please march ahead and make us proud. I would also like to acknowledge the hard work of Imrana Shehryar, Adila Suleiman, Barira Amin, Umair Saeed and his team, Atif Suleiman and his team, IVS gardeners, housekeeping staff, and everybody and all for making this convocation a real big project. Thank you very much.
The Dean of Academics of Indus Valley School of Art and Architecture, Dr. Asma Abbas, will present the State of Academy.
I stand here on behalf of our faculty to deliver the State of Academy address. I took the license to give it a name. Maybe that'll help you go through the talk I'm going to give. So it's called On Ships, A World of Wounds and an IVS Education. While there have been several commendable yet failed rescue efforts to recruit me for some yoga class here or there, to kind of ease my suffering as the Dean of Academics, it might comfort you to know that in all the manifest frenzy of my existence that has allowed me to stand here and deliver the State of Academy of 2019, a few ritual digressions have helped. The search for the right fragrance of motia inside an aerosol can when the real ones weren't available. Beverages super diluted with ice, which the canteen now sells as the dean's drink. And physically and compulsively rearranging my office chair, even if I never sit in it, to be in just the right location in relation to a view of the sea, at once avoiding the glare of the late morning sun. If you've visited me in my office, you know I care about exactly how much sun is in your eyes, so because I do the same for myself. In this frenetic, unforgiving world currently on fire, even small kindnesses might be too much to ask for, it is often these punctums or details that grant one that aesthetic or sensory path to come back to life, to be capable of small kindnesses again, and to the spaces of making life together with others we've been placed with inside institutions such as IVS. I must inform you that I did find that particular spot that would allow me to at least contrive a look at the ocean, pretending that this building behind us doesn't exist, normalizing a diagonal line of sight, the comfort that what I had imagined and what had brought me back here was indeed there. IVS is an enterprise of these punctums, with all of us involved in the making of experience and culture, of what bruises and what heals. Anyhow, I wanted to mention the ocean because one of the things that happened to constantly fall into my diagonal line of sight is the China terminal. And on the left here, and hearing for ship horns, imaginary or real, on quiet Sunday mornings. It recently came to mind, given the contemporary virile romance of ship burning. I don't know if you've heard the Prime Minister talk about burning ships, whether in that world or in the forms of commitment and patriotism that poets and others sometimes seem to ask of those of us in various kinds of love. In a world on fire where we keep asking arsonists to lead us, it isn't lost on me that so many of our metaphors of progress, success, overcoming, and transformation are those associated with acts of destruction and war. So much of my own adult life has been spent figuring out exactly which of the violences in society actually live inside us and which don't, what I can do something about and what I cannot, only to find that our metaphors are derived from forms of conquest, sacrifice, suffering, negation, hurt, and harm that are always relying on either a manic productivism or the extraction of value in the form of labor or sentiment of others. Is there truly no other way of thinking about what one does in and out of love? With certain forms of making, passion, and relation to materiality, so central to the enterprise of art and art education, are we at IVS and the wider community of makers, designers, and creative practitioners equipped to provide another narrative of courage, success, steadfastness, and progress that is not about constant moving on from history, constant self-hatred, constant assumptions of having something to be given up, an inability to feel or stay with feeling without having to convert it into something else, valuable to someone else, as if we have no capacity to withstand, as if every act of hollowing ourselves out to give something to the world has to be an act of depletion and alienation, of forgetting and abandonment. Nowhere else is that undertaking more involved, more heavy, and more precarious than inside an institution such as IVS that requires all of us to be the ones who constantly perform that task for ourselves on behalf of others, who embody and channel what others cannot, since the others are busy conquering the world and burning ships and blazing trails. I doubt there are many other spaces besides our institution where, alongside the making, performing, and producing, we're also taught to have conversations with ourselves and others about how certain kinds of performance and production must also grate our senses and must be repelled and chosen against, and what ways we must affirmatively choose to speak to each other. With the constant presence of the sea that has played a role even in this year's theses, I'm looking at least 3 people here who have done that, in architecture, fine art, and textile, it is clear that our relation to the burning ships, throwing all caution to the wind, and how we understand success, empowerment, goodness, courage, perseverance, and risk-taking are a bit different. We cannot look to the technocrat or the collector to verify for us the value of our work, or for how much we produce to tell us what art is, or for the state to define for us what public means, or for economics to determine ethics. There's another ship metaphor that feels really important here. Regardless of the colonial conquest underway right now at the China terminal, more closely related to artifice and to beauty, and hence closer to what we do here than the burnt ships of Tariq bin Ziyad, is of the face that launched 1,000 ships. A phrase Christopher Marlowe used to describe the Helen of Troy. This metaphor reports on Helen's beauty that brings 1,000 warrior ships to Troy to commence a 10-year futile war that also heralds some of the earliest recorded anti-war art and literature. Those of us not raised to think about Helen's beauty do certainly think of the enormous artifice of the Trojan horse, that contraption that took advantage of a gullible, even, trusting enemy, and sneaked in an entire army into the walls of the city of Troy. The role of the art educator here is to remind us of our potential complicities in the ugliness of the world if we don't hold ourselves accountable and not be misled by the self-congratulation, nobility, and philanthropy of our efforts as designers and artists. Only when we appreciate the difference between artifice and deception, use and exploitation, bearing witness and exploiting, reception and consumption, can we stop the blackmail of the forms of blatant exposition and literality that seem to coexist with the fundamental lack of accountability to each other in the name of morality or ideological purity, notions that have somehow overtaken our senses of form and representation in art, design, and the making of meaning in the world. Recalling what writer Nadeem Aslam once said about always beginning to write, or in that sense make art, with a conviction that there's nothing extraordinary or special about us, our sense of truth and conviction must come not from documents and archives, but from a knowledge of oneself as one of billions of people on this planet who verify each other's presences as you do today, and realities, and hence get summoned as a community, not at the call of the state or a political leader or a corporate boss, but in an ethical responsibility to each other that is folded into a capacity we know very well to be aesthetically available to each other, capable of independent judgments about beauty and creativity, possibility and impossibility, justice and injustice. At IVS, we build just such communities, and we pray and hope that our commitment to beauty doesn't make us faces that launch 1,000 ships, or those whose skills are called upon to build Trojan horses, despite what people say about the individuality, autonomy, arbitrariness, and self-absorption of artists. Life at IVS keeps us living and moving alone, keeps us from living and moving alone in a world of wounds, since they are the material of our makings, our partners, our questions, our desires, our aspirations. So any claim that IVS is a bubble separated from the realities of the city because it is an elite institution of art education is a kind of Trojan horse itself, because it serves only to constantly retain claims of truth, witness, courage, and transformation in the hands of certified purveyors and technocrats presiding over a world of so-called facts, policy, and law, with all due respect, all of whom are proving pretty inadequate and impotent in these times in our world. If the brute facts of our immediate surroundings and human existence were sufficient in producing a response one could claim as fitting of us as humans, then all our hearts would break the same way. We would all wish to change the world to look the same, and education, instead of an exercise in stepping out and away to decide what it means to be in the world, would become a production and reproduction of others' hopes and desires and profits, and realization of others' visions. Our actual claim to art and art education is of an education at the level of sensibility, values, experience, and challenging all the assumptions that are sneaked into a normative relation to truth, morality, and righteousness. What happens at IVS on the best day happens without the crutches of moral prejudice and scripted reactions. These are the bad assumptions about what connects us and separates us from the world and the realities we are accountable to. Even when under siege, we are the ones who tell how the Trojan horse is built and how a structure sounds when hollow, empty, solid, or full, as musicians or as architects. While that knowledge might allow us to be the ones who design these horses, we run the equal risk of saying no, not only because we know what it takes, but what it can do beyond fact and value, that they bring on details of futile wars in the name of some love or some beauty. What saves us from these commissions, as it were, is that by being those who bear the most intimate witness to material, form, and transformation, we are let into the secret of time better than almost anyone else in the world. And we are most well placed to forestall those demands and those crude appropriations of our art in the name of agendas that understand politics, aesthetics, representation, justice, and witness in unimaginative ways, which has repeatedly only seen those in authority as interlocutors, leaving fundamental relations, that between you and me, unheeded and unchanged. We at IVS have been at this for 30 years, and by some accounts, so was Helen of Troy. Some say she was 7. I don't believe that. I think she was about 30. But we have prevailed without starting wars, so that's a victory. The state of the academy at IVS is vital, bright, dynamic, and full of promise. Our task this past year has been to acknowledge what is requisite of an institution entering its prime age of 30. In its heady, feverish youth, IVS has committed to many things, done many things, left its marks, seeped into the community, also a metaphor from one of your theses, and remained delightfully uninterested in taking credit, tagging everything, and constantly naming and projecting itself. It falls on us, those who have been entrusted with this institution, to then speak from within this tradition of grace and articulate and theorize the pioneering role IVS has played in art education and education within this country. If the first 30 years of IVS's life have been doing so that others can take what we do for granted, we as the inheritors of this legacy have to articulate what it is that has been done, theorize from the spaces of our doing what it is we stand for, away from other scripts of performance and politics. Nothing less than a counter-vision of art, design, citizenship, coexistence, culture, communication, and belonging is at stake. Forms of success, empowerment, and morality, whether economic or otherwise, cannot drive where we are going. This past year, we have taken time to speak to each other and to collaborate without a presumed right answer. Thank you, and without the benefit of boundaries that have served to only isolate us from each other for the sake of various expediencies. We have been empowered by tireless departmental leadership who have taken us from mere proposition to assumption to assertion in the hands of new faculty who can break some boundaries that were necessary for our earliest stage of existence but are no longer needed. And in doing so, we have together unapologetically trusted young people and are learning every day how to value their passion and labor better. In this moment, I want to thank and acknowledge Sami Chauhan, Zarmine Shah, and Adila Suleiman as outgoing heads who will be returning to faculty, heads in architecture, liberal arts, and fine art, who really have put in all the foundational bricks to so many things we have come to assume, and they have handed over sort of their mantle to younger faculty members. So thank you. In the areas of program development, faculty development, and student life, significant headway has been made as we have all come together to give a real shot to consolidating, integrating, and suturing all the work that has been happening in these spaces, and some of which hasn't. We have taught each other. We have disagreed vehemently among ourselves and then come around and hugged each other. We carry the blessing and curse of thinking and building spaces and have learned to come closer together and create and care for what the other has or doesn't, precisely because there isn't enough space. Many of you would not even be talking to each other if you all had your studios to go into. So count those blessings. We have made overtures to affiliations and taken all processes to be pedagogical, whether with Plymouth, whether with Cardiff, whether with University of Moratawa, finding a way to learn who we are, what we stand for, and what it means to be filial to other institutions. We have seen ourselves through the eyes of accrediting bodies and been bewildered and amused, but also felt great pleasure in showing them the absolute marvel the studio is as the crux of our lives here, as the adhesive and anchor for our thinking and contributions to art and to education. Our faculty have spearheaded the formalization of our focus on student support and student affairs. They're called the Dream Team. And they have participated in meaningful conversations about future partnerships and the role of IVS in the larger academic community, but thinking of our ongoing academic identity. We have lost friends and loved ones who have been kindred to us, who have lived in these spaces with us. We have spoken more truth to each other just by speaking to each other more, and we have called each other out when we haven't been treated well. We have acknowledged what it means to be born and raised in spaces of war and what it has done to us, and what charge an institution like IVS has to turn the tables on what it means to inherit the trauma with the very real realities that students and faculty bring into this space. Students, and I here want to acknowledge the Student Council, but also the smaller organizations like Kinare, who have spearheaded and put us in positions to answer for things that nobody has answered before. And you're leading the way, even if everybody thinks IVS students are extremely passive and docile, right? We're doing it in our own way, and we don't need to follow what anybody else is doing. And I'm really proud of you. And here, everywhere in the world, and we are grateful to have found each other and to be asked to show up for each other. All of these intuitions are native and indigenous to IVS. Every step we have taken corresponds to something else already present in the genes of this institution. Ms. Samina has already mentioned the graduate program, but I have to do my own bit, having lived in the trenches. So we have stretched the limits of IVS this year in every possible way that was humanly possible. We have just curated the first batch for our MPhil in Art and Design, the only interdisciplinary graduate program of its kind in Pakistan that seeks to take on the big task of broaching nothing less than a shared agenda for the present and future of critical and creative practice in our context, of taking the next step in transforming the studio by maintaining that the studio is as much a space for the production of responsibility, reflection, accountability, and critique as it is of expressing ourselves. We have welcomed photographers and filmmakers into this class, visual artists and interaction designers, seasoned architects and young educators, alums and novices to Indus. Last year at this event, I had expressed aspirationally not only that we might end our work too soon with our students, with so much yet to do, but also that IVS happens almost too late in the life of the city. Just this past summer, we also launched our new pre-collegiate program to give young people a chance to opt into a way of thinking and being that they're deprived of even at the best schools in Karachi. These are all efforts and visions mobilized by faculty leadership, participation and passion, and proof that it takes a few of us to meet at the right time and right place to be able to do certain things and do them well. We are just getting used to this, and it might be a hard habit to break, which is good, so don't make it an easy habit to break. With our space of accountability, we have inducted the largest class to date and had the largest pool of applicants to choose from in all of IVS history. With our space of accountability and reach expanding as we proclaim our own model of education, we have not been shy to ask, who do we have to become in order to do this well, and whom should we be learning from and partnering with in these efforts? We took multiple opportunities this year to speak to new and old, lost and found friends, to reflect ourselves back to us. At this important juncture in our history, we are uniquely well situated to make certain claims on education in Pakistan only we can make. I believe that only being at the helm of a vibrant cultural and project and campaign can save us from the inevitable direction the world and our own society are headed in, to extend this sanctuary to more, to resist the temptation to find refuge in others' visions of what the right program in any given field must be doing. I trust our faculty knows that, and I fully support everything we want to do. It is clear from the thesis show that our students very nicely violate the norms of the production of knowledge and sensibility that are rampant just outside the walls of the school, and we have to only remain committed to giving them the tools to appreciate and further that cause. Do not just fall in line. It's really not worth it. The world's not going to be the same. So why prepare for it as it is? So our faculty and students have changed the affective landscape of Karachi through large and small projects alongside teaching our studios and mentoring our students and completing our assignments. Over 40 of us have shown their work at numerous galleries, locally, internationally, about 20 performances have been held at locations, and Zirak have been held at locations all over Pakistan and abroad. We've collaborated with scores of people, written 140 theses, traveled to jury or speak at 50 locations, anchored 13 curatorial projects and interventions, including massive projects such as IPAF, Thanks Zarmine, and Nakshe-Sheher, and Pursukoon, Nuraya, and the Karachi Biennale projects, Adila, projects that brought together so much of the IVS community and beyond. 4 permanent faculty members chosen for residencies, local and residential, blah, 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 lots of stuff. Presented at 23 conferences, published in 26 venues, had the 3rd hybrid come out just now. So go grab a copy. Our student council continues to hold the mantle of reinvigorating student participation. Don't take away that space from you. So thank you, Uzair, the previous student council. I don't have time to name everybody, but Uzair and Rafi and their whole team, and the new team with Uzair and Samra. Really amazing work. Please, everybody, support them. Last but not the least, in order to do all this, we have been supported and trusted immeasurably by our trustees who grace the stage, who ask the right questions, who give up their time and care without condition, who believe us when we answer their questions, who hug us when we cry, and who joke with us. They believe in and follow in the footsteps of our founders who have given us the room to at once deepen our roots and build more floors. How is that possible? Only we know. Together, these are the people most free of cliches. We are very lucky. The world is so full of cliches. You wouldn't find them in your founders, which means they know that our judgments are welcome to be different. It is a culture to be proud of, even when it is imperfect, because it has what it takes to become what we need it to be, what others out there need it to be, and what others do not even have a clue about how to make it this way. So one can only nonchalantly speak about burning ships if the flames of the burning world aren't reaching us, right? We cannot trust anyone who defines progress, development, well-being, justice in a way that normalizes destruction and abandonment. We will not destroy and abandon each other. Let's promise that. Our languages and typologies have to counter the nonsense. It is precisely our relation to the contemporary, our relation to the time of making, that might save us in the face of the onslaught of those who come bearing cudgels, whether they come to destroy our work or make a new country on the basis of our bodies, dead or alive, to take away either our livelihoods or our art in their trucks. With all the darkness, we are in many ways so lucky to be having such difficult and different conversations than most of the crumbling Western world, and are being shown that the usual vanguards of our lives at home and abroad aren't those at all, and we have to do the work. We have a chance to avert the fate that's come upon the conquerors, and we have to build our weight for other ships. And on that note, again, just Kinare, I'm giving my hats to you. You should look up Pirate Jenny by Bertolt Brecht, and that's the black freighter we are waiting for. So there's a ship that's coming, and Kinare will be waiting for it. So thank you, everybody, and congratulations, and thank you for letting me be part of this. It is my distinct honor to transition from this long story that probably a tenth of you heard to the crux of today, the thing that holds the center of gravity for us is the keynote speech and keynote speaker. We are delighted and honored to have among us Professor Kamil Khan Mumtaz, who has been a practicing architect, educator, author and pioneer in the movement for conservation of architectural heritage around the world and in Pakistan. He has been a leading influence in raising standards of architectural design in general and in search for a contemporary, appropriate architecture for Pakistan responsive to climate, economy, and materials, yet rooted in indigenous culture. Very much the lessons we have been taught at Indus. No wonder he's been the teacher to people who have formed our schools. So this is a really important moment for us to have him among us. He was trained at the Architectural Association, London, in the 60s, after which he returned to Pakistan to practice and teach. He led the National College of Arts from 66 to 675. He has been a member of several juries and widely lectured in Europe and Asia. His book, Architecture in Pakistan, is the reference text for generations of people, in which, unlike any time before, he's explored the contemporary issues of design and development with reference to modernity and tradition. He has been central to the Aga Khan program for Islamic architecture at Harvard and MIT as a visiting critic, and also been part of the Aga Khan Architectural Award jury for a span of time. The government of Pakistan has recognized him not once but twice, once as the recipient of the Tamga Imtiaz in 93 and the Sitara Imtiaz just this past year. I don't think there are enough words that can be said. We should listen from him, and I should shut up.
چاہیے تو یہ تھا کہ تقسیم اسناد کے اس موقف میں میں آپ کو مبارکباد پیش کرتا اور ایک پرامید روشن مستقبل کی طرف بڑھنے کی دعوت دیتا، لیکن آج مزید تمہید کے بغیر میں آپ کے سامنے گزشتہ سال کے کچھ حقائق پیش کر رہا ہوں اور مستقبل کی دنیا میں داخل ہونے سے پہلے ان حقائق پر سنجیدگی سے غور کرنے کی دعوت دینا چاہتا ہوں۔ عالمی تنظیم موسمیات کے مطابق اس سال جون کا مہینہ تاریخ کا سب سے گرم جون تھا، جولائی کا مہینہ تاریخ کا سب سے گرم مہینہ تھا، یعنی دنیا کی تاریخ میں، اور سال 2019 تاریخ کا سب سے گرم سال گزرا ہے۔ اسی سال روس اور کینیڈا کے آرکٹک علاقوں میں جنگلوں میں آگیں لگیں۔ اگست میں آئس لینڈ نے پہلی برفانی چٹان کی موت پر یادگار تعمیر کی۔ ستمبر میں سوئٹزرلینڈ میں پہلے برفانی تودے کی موت پر باقاعدہ سوگ منایا گیا، اور اسی سال 80 لاکھ ٹن پلاسٹک سمندروں میں پھینکا گیا، 10 لاکھ سمندری پرندے، 1 لاکھ سمندری جانور اور ان گنت مچھلیاں آلودگی کا شکار ہوئیں۔ 23 ستمبر کو ایک 16 سالہ لڑکی اقوام متحدہ سے خطاب کرتے ہوئے کہا، تم سب لوگ ہم نوجوانوں کے پاس امیدیں لے کر آتے ہو، تم نے یہ جرأت کیسے کی؟ اپنے کھوکھلے الفاظ سے تم نے میرا خواب، میرا بچپن چرایا۔ میں تو پھر خوش قسمت ہوں۔ لوگ تکلیفیں سہ رہے ہیں، مر رہے ہیں، پورے کے پورے ماحولیاتی نظام تباہ ہو رہے ہیں، تباہ ہو کر ڈھیر ہو رہے ہیں۔ بڑے پیمانے پر لاتعداد زندہ نسلوں کا صفائے ہستی سے خاتمہ شروع ہو چکا ہے اور تم صرف پیسہ اور ترقی کے پرستان کی کہانیاں ہی سنا رہے ہو؟ تمہیں یہ جرأت کیسے ہوئی؟ یہ روزمرہ کے معمولی واقعات نہیں ہیں، اور آج کی الوداعی تقریب سے یہ خطاب بھی روایتی خطاب نہیں ہو سکتا۔ آج اس درسگاہ سے فارغ التحصیل ہو کر تم جس دنیا میں داخل ہونے جا رہے ہو، میں اس کے بارے میں کوئی پرستان کی کہانیاں، کوئی روشن مستقبل کی تصویر، کوئی جھوٹی امیدیں نہیں لے کر آیا، بلکہ کچھ سوالات پر تمہارے ساتھ مل کر غور کرنا چاہتا ہوں۔ پہلا سوال تو یہ ہے کہ ہم یہاں تک کیسے پہنچے؟ دوسرا یہ کہ دنیا کی اس تباہ کاری میں فنون لطیفہ کا کیا کردار رہا ہے؟ اور تیسرا یہ کہ ان حالات میں فنکار پر کیا لازم ہے؟ موجودہ دور کو دور انسانی کا نام اس لیے دیا جاتا ہے کہ اس دور میں زندہ کرۂ ارض میں سب سے اہم تبدیلیوں کا موجب انسان رہا ہے، بلکہ انسان کی معاشی اقتصادی سرگرمیاں، بالخصوص صنعتی پیداوار، نتیجتاً دنیا کے وسائل کا استعمال بڑھتے بڑھتے سن 1970 میں دنیا کی سالانہ پیداواری صلاحیت کے برابر ہو گیا تھا۔ 2008 میں یہ اضافہ 50% زیادہ ہو گیا، اور اب 2019 میں 75% سے زیادہ اضافہ کر چکے ہیں دنیا کی پیداوار سے۔ تو قدرت کے اس نظام سے یہ زیادتی کب تک چلے گی؟ تو ہم یہاں تک کیسے پہنچے؟ فطری معیشت میں انسان کا قدرت سے لین دین کا سودا ضرورت کے مطابق رہا، اور قدرت کے نظام کو کوئی نقصان نہیں پہنچا۔ زرعی معیشت میں مہذب انسان نے انہی وسائل کو اپنی ملکیت میں لے کر اپنی ضروریات سے زیادہ حاصل کرنا شروع کیا، لیکن قدرت کی پیداواری صلاحیت سے تجاوز نہیں کیا۔ جدید انسان نے صنعت کاری کی مدد سے پیداوار میں حیران کن اضافہ کیا، لیکن قدرت کے خزانوں کے اس سیارے کی پیداواری صلاحیت سے زیادہ استعمال کرنا شروع کیا۔ ہمارے موجودہ دور میں مزید مال دولت جمع کرنے کی خاطر ضرورت کی بجائے خواہشات بلکہ حرص پر مبنی تصرفاتی معیشت نے نہ صرف قدرت کے وسائل کو حد سے زیادہ استعمال کیا ہے، بلکہ تصرف کے بعد ضائع ہونے والے مواد سے آلودگی کو بھی قابل برداشت حد سے زیادہ بڑھا دیا۔ آج پیداوار میں اس حیرت انگیز اضافے کو انسان کی کامیابی سمجھا جاتا ہے، بلکہ مسلسل ترقی اور ارتقاء کو قانون قدرت اور انسان کی معیاری کیفیت تصور کیا جاتا ہے۔ لیکن ہم بھول جاتے ہیں کہ یہ نام نہاد ترقی کا سفر صرف 150-200 سال کا ہی کہانی ہے، جبکہ انسان کا وجود دنیا میں 3 لاکھ سال سے ہے۔ اس طویل عرصے کا بیشتر حصہ فطری معیشت کا دور رہا ہے۔ زرعی دور کا آج سے لگ بھگ 10,000 سال قبل شروع ہوا، جبکہ صنعتی دور 150-200 سال سے چل رہا ہے، اور یہ ہمارا مابعد الجدیدیت کا دور قریب 70 سال سے ہے۔ یا یوں سمجھیے کہ اگر انسان کی زندگی ایک دن کی ہوتی تو فطری دور 23 گھنٹے کا ہوتا، زرعی دور 1 گھنٹے سے کم، صنعتی دور 1 منٹ سے کم، اور ہمارا مابعد الجدیدیت کا دور صرف 20 سیکنڈ کا ہوتا۔ تو انسان کی تاریخ مسلسل ترقی، تبدیلی اور ارتقاء کی تاریخ نہیں ہے، بلکہ قدرت کے ساتھ توازن، ہم آہنگی اور استحکام کی تاریخ ہے۔ جبکہ چھوٹے سے عرصے میں برداشت کی حد سے زیادہ تبدیلی یہ کوئی اتفاقی حادثہ یا کوئی کسی قانون قدرت کا طے شدہ فیصلہ نہیں، بلکہ انسان کے اپنے عوامل کا نتیجہ ہے۔ ہر شعوری عمل سے پہلے فاعل کا اپنے اور دنیا کے وجود کا علم اور شعور ہونا، یعنی میں کون ہوں، کہاں سے آیا، یعنی اپنی داخلی اور دنیا کی خارجی حقیقت کا شعور لازمی ہوتا ہے۔ تو فطری انسان نے اپنے اندر جسم اور روح کی وحدت پائی، اور دنیا کے مظاہر میں روح القدوس کو موجود پایا۔ مہذب انسان نے اپنے اندر عقل اور جسم کے درمیان نفس کو پہچانا، اور عالم ارواح اور دنیا کے درمیان عالم خیال اور عالم مثال کی منازل کو پایا۔ جدید انسان نے اپنے اندر محض خاک کا خود رو پتلا پایا، اور روح کو خیال اور وہم کی طرح دماغ کی اختراع سمجھا، اور مادی کائنات کے ہر عمل میں روح کے بجائے قدرت کے آفاقی اصولوں کو کار فرما پایا۔ اور اب مابعد جدید انسان نے کوئی حقیقت مطلق نہ آسمان میں نہ زمین میں پائی، تو اپنے آپ کو ہی اپنا خالق و مالک سمجھ بیٹھا۔ تو مختلف ادوار میں فنون لطیفہ کا کردار کیا رہا ہے؟ فن کا مطلب کسی بھی کام میں مہارت، طریقہ یا اسلوب، لیکن فنون لطیفہ کی اصطلاح صرف چند مشاغل کے لیے مخصوص ہے۔ ان میں موسیقی، مصوری، شاعری، مجسمہ سازی، ناٹک اور فن تعمیری شامل ہیں۔ ان فنون کا خصوصی مصرف اور مقصد تبادلہ خیال اور اظہار خیال ہے، بالخصوص حقیقت کے علم و شعور کا اظہار۔ یوں تو دیگر علوم کا بھی یہی مقصد ہے، لیکن جہاں دیگر علوم ظاہری دنیا کی سطحی اور جزوی صفات تک مشاہدے اور دلیل کے راستے سے پہنچتے ہیں، فنون لطیفہ حقیقت کی اصل روح تک فوری اور براہ راست رسائی دیتے ہیں۔ اور یہی وجہ ہے کہ فنون لطیفہ کی زبان میں بات کی ہوئی سیدھی دل کو لگتی ہے۔ تو فطری انسان نے فنون لطیفہ کو روح القدوس کے حضور میں عبادت اور دعا کا طریقہ بنایا۔ مہذب انسان نے عالم ارواح تک رسائی کا ذریعہ بنایا۔ تو جدید انسان نے مادی دنیا پر تسلط قائم کرنے میں فنون لطیفہ کو معاون بنایا۔ اور اب مابعد جدید انسان نے دل اور دماغ کو نشانہ بنا کر فنون لطیفہ کو ہمارے ہی جذبات اور خواہشات کو اپنے زیر تسلط لانے کے لیے اعلی کار بنایا ہوا ہے۔ آج تمہارے لیے دولت اور شہرت کا بازار گرم ہے۔ منڈیوں میں نامور مصوروں کے نام کی بولی لگتی ہے۔ مشہور عالمی صنعتی اداروں نے موسیقی کے محفلیں سجائی ہوئی ہیں۔ مہندس اور معماروں نے عمارتوں کو نمائش گاہ بنا رکھا ہے۔ فلم سازی اور ذرائع ابلاغ کی مہا صنعت نے فنکار کے لیے دروازے کھول رکھے ہیں۔ لیکن اس بازار میں سچ کو سچ اور جھوٹ کو جھوٹ کہنا، اس پہ پابندی۔ سچ کو سچ اور جھوٹ کو جھوٹ کہنے کو بدذوقی اور بدتمیزی سمجھا جاتا ہے۔ تو بازار کے باہر لوگ تکلیفیں سہ رہے ہیں، مر رہے ہیں، پورے کے پورے ماحولیاتی نظام تباہ ہو کر ڈھیر ہو رہے ہیں، بڑے پیمانے پر لاتعداد زندہ نسلوں کا صفائے ہستی سے خاتمہ شروع ہو چکا ہے۔ تم پھر بھی خوش قسمت ہو۔ اس درسگاہ نے تمہیں بولنے کا سلیقہ دیا۔ کیا تم اس قیمتی تحفے کو بازار میں پرستان کی کہانیاں سنا کر بیچو گے، یا حقیقت کی روح تک پہنچنے کا ذریعہ بناؤ گے؟ بولو، کیا تم حق اور باطل کی تمیز کرنے کی جرأت رکھتے ہو؟ تو پھر سنو، یہ الفاظ تمہیں سے مخاطب ہیں فیض کے۔ بول، بول کے لب آزاد ہیں تیرے، بول زبان اب تک تیری ہے، تیرا ستواں جسم ہے تیرا، بول کہ یہ جان اب تک تیری ہے۔ دیکھ کہ آہن گر کی دکان میں تند ہے شعلے سرخ ہے آہن، کھلنے لگے قفلوں کے دہانے، پھیلا ہر ایک زنجیر کا دامن۔ بول، یہ تھوڑا وقت بہت ہے، جسم و زبان کی موت سے پہلے بول کہ سچ زندہ ہے اب تک، بول جو کچھ کہنا ہے کہہ لو۔
I request the Dean of Academics, Dr. Asma Abbas, to the front of the stage for award of degrees.
Assistant Professor Sumaila Palla, Head, Department of Architecture, will read the citations and present the candidates from the Department of Architecture. Founder member Akil Bilgrani is requested to come to the stage for the award of degrees. Founder member Akil Bilgrami is requested to come to the stage for the award of degrees.
Sir Chairman, I present to you the students who have been examined and have qualified for the degree of Bachelor of Architecture in the Faculty of Architecture, to which I pray they be admitted. Afreen Adil Sheikh, Areej Siddiqui, Aisha Alize Arbab, Aisha Sultan, Aiza Mahmood. Slow down. Bushra Salim, Hamad Jamil, pass with overall distinction. Hamza Hussain Manviwala. Huria Mahmood. Kafilur Rahman Farooqi. Maaz Mahmood Jan. Maha Ejaz, pass with distinction in final research paper and overall distinction. Majibeen Ali. Mohsin Yar Khan Yusufi, pass with distinction in final research paper. Muhammad Amin Mumtaz, pass with overall distinction. Muhammad Abed. Rida Zahra Zaidi. Ruhil Abid Larik. Sabine Yamin, pass with distinction in final research paper. Saif Zubair Modan. Sumaira Mahmood. Saida Alina Naqvi. Tahir Zahid Ishrat, pass with overall distinction. Zeba Asad. Zarida Mawalwala, pass with overall distinction. Zoha bin Zubair.
Assistant Professor Mavish Ghulam Rasool, Head, Department of Interior Design, will read the citations and present the candidates from the Department of Interior Design. Founder member Shahid Abdullah is requested to come to stage for award of degrees.
Sir Chairman, I present to you the students who have been examined and have qualified for the degree of Bachelor of Interior Design in the Faculty of Architecture, to which I pray they be admitted. Starting with Amna Iqbal Khan, Elsa Kaleem, Hafsa Amir, Hora Merchant, Huzaifa Manan, Maha Faisal, Maliha Javed Baksh, Mehek Qureshi, Mikhail Ataullah, Nurulan, Rabia Amin, Rabia Naveed, Sara Abdul Rahim, Sundis Nasir, Zainab Zahid Saeed, pass with overall distinction.
Associate Professor Tazeen Hussain, Head, Department of Communication Design, will read the citations and present the candidates from the Department of Communication Design. Founder member Ms. Nighat Mir is requested to come to the stage for the award of degrees. Mrs. Nighat Mir.
Sir Chairman, I present to you the students who have been examined and have qualified for the degree of Bachelor of Communication Design in the Faculty of Design, to which I pray they be admitted. Alina Khwaja, pass with overall distinction. Amadia Arif. Amina Mansoor, pass with distinction in thesis, distinction in final research paper, and overall distinction. Amtul Hafiz. Ariba Hafiz. Aruba Khalid, pass with distinction in thesis, distinction in final research paper, and overall distinction. Asif Ali Qayyum. Aisha Nadeem. Aiza Nadeem Ali. Ishal Javed Malik, pass with overall distinction. Getiara Khalid, pass with distinction in thesis and overall distinction. Harim Farooq, pass with overall distinction. Innama Mustafa Zaidi, pass with distinction in thesis. Intisab Nasir. Jamsheed Darius Charna. Maha Faisal Sheikh, pass with distinction in thesis. Mehreen Ahmad. Mahir Atif. Misbah Usman. Muhammad Jafar Ali. Muhammad Saif Haider. Nawal Sikandar Virani. Ramsha Khalid. Saad Abdur Rahman. Samia Bilal, overall distinction. Sana Ahmed Hamid. Sana Anjum. Sania Zahid, pass with distinction in thesis, distinction in final research paper, and overall distinction. Shikma Shafiq. Waleed Jabbar. Yusra Ahmed, pass with overall distinction. Zohra Wahab.
Associate Professor Imrana Shehryar, Head, Department of Textile Design, will read the citations and present the candidates from the Department of Textile Design. Founder member Shehnaz Ismail is requested to come to stage for award of degrees.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Sir Chairman, I present to you the students who have been examined and have qualified for the degree of Bachelor of Textile Design and 4-year Diploma in Textile Design in the Faculty of Design, to which I pray they be admitted. Alita Shahid Hussain. Alize Khan. Anika Imran Sheikh. Arsalan Ahmed, Diploma in Textile Design. Arsalan is our special student. Arzish Khan, pass with distinction in thesis. Arzum Umar. Atia Haider. Bilal Ahmed, Diploma in Textile Design. Bilal is also our special student. Bushra Arif. Dania Rauf. Hasib Ahmad Farooqi. Hiba Saqib. Haya Haider. Insia Amir. Maheen Arif Sheikh. Manahil Fawad. Minhaj Hassan Ansari. Nashmia Khan. Rabia Khurram. Samia Khan Bozai. Saman Salim. Subhata Kareem. Sayyida Shireen Fatma Bilgrami. Tabinda Ayub. Umme Safa Amin. And Zaina Nawab.
Associate Professor Adila Sulman, Head, Department of Fine Art, will read the citations and present the candidates from the Department of Fine Art. Founder member Noorjahan Bilgrami is requested to come to the stage for the award of degrees.
Assalamu alaikum. Sir Chairman, I present to you the students who have been examined and have qualified for the degree of Bachelor of Fine Art in the Faculty of Fine Art, to which I pray they be admitted. Anzala Rahuja. Arzu Binte Azad. Aisha Sheikh. Babar Feroz Khan. Baneen Fatma. Dua Rabe, passed with distinction and final research paper. Gulsoom Musa. Khatija Saeed Akhtar, passed with distinction in thesis. Lujain Wakar Akhtar Pagganwala, passed with distinction in thesis, distinction in final research paper, and overall distinction. Lujain is also the recipient of Sher Asfandyar Khan Cash Award of Rs 50,000 for academic excellence and fine art. Maryam Atiq. Maryam is also the recipient of the Sher Asfandyar Khan Cash Award of Rs 50,000 for academic excellence and fine art. Mifra Sajjad. Noor Jamshed Khan. Nooreen Inam. Rahima Mehman, passed with distinction in final research paper. Rabia Abrar. Rahat Niazi. Rida Fatma Shah. Rida Nadeem, passed with distinction in final research paper. Shazal Salim. Shehrazana Halim. Sumaya Syed. Sayyid Muhammad Hussain Muazzam, he is absent. Sayyida Ayman Haider. Sayyida Alize Naqvi. Sayyida Kainat Jalani, passed with distinction in thesis. Sayyida Sahar Rizvi, Trinette Lucas, Varisha Khan, Zara Arif Rashid. Thank you.
The Registrar will request the Chairman, Executive Committee for acceptance of the degrees and escort the Chairman to the rostrum. Will the graduating students please rise to receive your acceptance?
May I request the Chairman Executive Committee to accept the candidates to their respective degrees.
Assalamu alaikum. By virtue of the authority vested in me as the Chairman Board of Executive Committee of the school, I admit you to your respective degrees and charge you that in conduct of your life and in your conversation and deeds, you do prove yourselves worthy of the same. Good luck.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman Adnan Asdar.
I request the Executive Director, Ms. Samina Rais Khan, to accompany our honored guest, Professor Kamil Khan Mumtaz, who will present the awards in different categories.
I now request Associate Professor Zarmeena Shah, Head of the Liberal Arts Program, to announce the recipient of the Dr. Salimuzzaman Siddiqui Award.
Assalamualaikum. Instituted in memory of Dr. Salimuzzaman Siddiqui, this award is conferred upon a student of the graduating class for carrying out outstanding research in the final research paper. With distinctions in final research paper, the Dr. Salimuzzaman Siddiqui Award for the year 2019 is awarded to two students between whom there is a tie. The students are Maha Ijaz from the Department of Architecture and Sanya Zahid from the Department of Communication Design.
The Abu Shamim Arif Award, sponsored by the Foundation of the Museum of Modern Art, FOMA, is instituted in memory of Abu Shamim Arif and given to the graduating student for the best research in the Department of Fine Art. The award carries a cash prize of Rs 20,000. This year, the award is being shared by two students. The Abu Shamim Arif Award for the year 2019 goes to Dua Rabe and Lujain Vakar Akhtar Pagawala.
The Agha Hassan Abdi Award, sponsored by the Infaq Foundation, is instituted in memory of Agha Hassan Abdi. This award is given to the graduating student of Architecture Department who has achieved the highest overall cumulative GPA. The award carries a cash prize of Rs 200,000 with a cumulative GPA of 3.49. The 2019 Agha Hassan Abdi Award goes to Maha Ijaz. Maha Ijaz from the Department of Architecture.
The Zahur Akhlaq Award, instituted in memory of the renowned artist Zahur Akhlaq, is awarded to the best drawing portfolio of a graduating student in the Department of Fine Art. The 2019 Zahur Akhlaq Award goes to Sayyida Kainat Jalani.
Tharyani Award for Architectural Design Excellence has been initiated in recognition of the countless years of service to architectural practice and architectural education by the Tharyani family of architects. This award will be given to a graduating student of architecture with the highest cumulative grade point average in 8 design studios following the foundation program. It carries a cash award of Rs 50,000 along with a certificate of appreciation for achieving a CGPA of 3.52 in architecture design studios. This year, the award goes to Hamad Jamil.
This year, the school has initiated a new award for a graduating student of Communication Design Department in recognition of Samina Qureshi, an influential artist, designer, author, and educator. The Samina Qureshi Award for the most outstanding portfolio will be awarded to a student who demonstrated a high level of academic zeal and outstanding execution of projects as reflected through the portfolio. The award carries a cash prize of Rs 25,000. This year, the first Samina Qureshi Award goes to Samia Bilal.
The Distinguished Teaching Award recognizes a faculty's devotion and consistent, outstanding teaching performance for the past year. It carries a cash award of Rs 50,000. I request Dean of Academics, Dr. Asma Abbas, to announce this award.
This year, there were 16 nominations for the Distinguished Teaching Award. The nominees were evaluated on student, peer, and self-evaluations. The Faculty Recognition Committee of the Faculty Council, consisting of 7 members, 1 representing each department, was constituted by myself and reviewed all applications and reached a decision. The Distinguished Teaching Award will be awarded to 2 professors, 2 faculty members based on a tie in the assessment results. They are Assistant Professor Farah Mehboob and Assistant Professor Naraya Sheikh Nabi. Farah Mehboob is from the Department of Communication Design and Naraya Sheikh Nabi from the Department of Fine Art. They've been affiliated with IVS for many years and are as absolutely integral to the essence of IVS as are the very bricks of these buildings. Both women have impacted numerous lives and are immensely loved by faculty and students alike. They embody the vision and mission of the school, and they continue to touch, inspire, and expand the horizons of imagining and creating for those around them. We are very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Kamil Khan Mumtaz, for giving these awards.
Distinction awards are given to graduating students who have achieved a cumulative grade point average of 3.25 and above. This year, 16 students will receive this award. The Dean of Academics, Dr. Asma Abbas, is requested to present these awards.
The distinction awards are presented in ascending order of CGPA. Zurita Mawalwala, Department of Architecture, with a CGPA of 3.25. Alina Khwaja, Department of Communication Design, with a CGPA of 3.26. Ishal Javed Malik, Department of Communication Design, with a CGPA of 3.27. Zainab Zahid Said, Department of Interior Design, with a CGPA of 3.33. Samia Bilal, Department of Communication Design, with a CGPA of 3.33. Hamad Jamil, Department of Architecture, with a CGPA of 3.33. Harim Farooq, Department of Communication Design, with a CGPA of 3.36. Mohammad Amin Mumtaz, Department of Architecture, with a CGPA of 3.42. Tahir Zahid Ishrat, Department of Architecture, with a CGPA of 3.42. Sanya Zahid, Department of Communication Design, with a CGPA of 3.42. Amina Mansoor Khalil, Department of Communication Design, with a CGPA of 3.45. Aruba Khalid, Department of Communication Design, with a CGPA of 3.46. Maha Ejaz, Department of Architecture, with a CGPA of 3.49. Geti Ara Khalid, Department of Communication Design, with a CGPA of 3.55. Lujain Vakar Akhtar Pangawala, Department of Fine Art, with a CGPA of 3.62. Finally, for achieving the highest CGPA of 3.64, the distinction and valedictorian award goes to Yusra Ahmed from the Department of Communication Design.
Thank you, Dr. Asma Abbas. The valedictorian Yusra Ahmed from the Department of Communication Design will now present her valedictory speech.
Assalamu alaikum and good morning to you all. First and foremost, I'd like to congratulate the graduating class of 2019. We did it. But we didn't do it alone. So I would like to ask the graduating class to rise and give a round of applause to the parents, families, teachers, and friends who have made getting here possible. I speak on behalf of the class of 2019, and we would like to thank everyone who has been instrumental in our journey here. Our families that sent us food from home while we stayed late at Indus and reminded us that sleep was something we needed to be doing. I would also like to thank our professors who were tough, loving, critical, and supportive all at once. And we would especially like to thank Ehsan Bhai and Majid Bhai, our gate guards, who who always made sure that our day at Indus started with a smile. The bookshops Munir Bhai and Habib Bhai, who are a key component of our support system, and we're always ready to help now and get paid later because we are all broke art students who never had enough money in our wallets. And as a communication design student, a huge shout out to Badal Bhai and Daulat, the backbones of communication design department, because without their support and constant reminders of days left in thesis, we would not be here. And lastly, a huge thank you to my parents who sent me support through video calls and WhatsApp messages because they don't live here, and my sister who never let me feel like they didn't. Life at Indus has been an experience, to say the least. Indus is a place for thinkers. Here, we aren't just asked to think outside of the box, but to question the box itself, reimagine it, rethink it, reconstruct it. I wish I was joking when I said Indus made me miss maths. Because in maths, there was always a correct answer, a verified way to get to it. But the questions we were asked at Indus were far too critical, too abstract, too profound to have a singular correct answer. It was here that we learned that there wasn't just a single path to the answer, and more importantly, that we each take our own journey to it. As much as Indus has taught us for our various degrees, the one thing we have all truly learned is how to be curious, how to question all that surrounds us, and to become comfortable with the uncomfortable. But studying at Indus wasn't just introspection and deep discussions. While documenting homelessness, I was on the streets of Karachi. I was chased by a one-legged homeless man carrying half a crowbar. Friends of mine in another research-driven endeavor recorded what we would unanimously agree upon is a jinn talking. There have been ghost sightings and fallen ceiling fans, broken bones and lost phones. We have driven for hours looking for burning trash and watched in horror as our laptops have crashed. So life at Indus was bizarre and brutal. It was tough and taxing, but to its credit, it was never boring. I would also like to take this moment to applaud all of the almost doctors and engineers that sit here today, having pursued their creative paths. While doctors saved lives and engineers further human innovation, the last 4 years at Indus have taught me that creating change is not just confined to those professions. So whatever your field may be, wherever your interests may lie, you are strong, you are powerful, and you are capable of creating change, and will always be supported by your IVS family. Indus is not just an academic institution, it is a community, a safe space in which you can walk around with your hot pink hair and have a girl on the 4th floor scream, "I love your hair!" Where wearing multicolored churian with your Adidas tracksuit is a well-applauded style innovation, and being differently abled just makes you more interesting. It is where everyone's uniqueness is loved, accepted, and cherished. It is a space for people to be the truest form of themselves, or at least we try to make it so. So to sum up, Indus was hot and humid. Indus was no sleep and sometimes no electricity too. Indus was back pain and cut fingers. It was beautiful sunset and delicious dal chawal. It was stressful juries and great friends who helped you through them. It was professors, academic coordinators, technical staff members, security personnel, and housekeeping who came in on weekends just to help and always made sure that we were well taken care of. It was breaks on the balcony and fire escape, and almost always asking for an extension on that deadline. It was trying to study psychoanalysis, publication design, and the science of digital data all at once. Indus was halwa puri nashtas and being so tired you couldn't feel your feet. To the 129 of us graduating today, Indus was home, and we will miss it dearly. Congratulations, everyone, and here's looking forward to a life of meaning and purpose. Thank you.
I now request the Executive Director, Ms. Samina Rais Khan, to make the announcement for the Founders Award.
The Founder Award is presented to a graduating student who has not only excelled in his or her academic performance, but who also showed a strong commitment to the school and the chosen profession, participated in co-curricular activities within and outside the school, has been humble, open-minded, and matured in dealings with faculty members and with fellow students. In other words, this award gives recognition to the graduate who most closely reflects the philosophy of the school as envisaged by the founders. May I request Mrs. Nigat Mir, one of the founders of Indus Valley School of Art and Architecture, to kindly come forward and present this year's Founders Award. She would like to say something, yes, before we award the award, yes.
I stand here today and I'm about to give out this award. I want you all to remember 4 founders who are not with us, but whose work was initially to not just lay the foundation, but to bring up the building, care about the curriculum, and generally dedicate their life and their time and their commitment to Indus Valley. Among them, architect Arshad Abdullah, artist Imran Mir, sculptor Shahid Sajjad, and our dear, dear Inayat Ismail, who was always there at every step to help in anything that needed to be done.
This year, the award goes to Mohsen Yar Khan Yusufi from the Department of Architecture.
The IVS Alumni Award, sponsored by the IVS Alumni Association, aims to appreciate a thesis design project which is embedded in social awareness and sharing responsibility for a better tomorrow, an initiative that follows our founder's vision. In addition to the recipient of the Alumni Award, there are 2 honorable mentions this year who will receive certificates.
The President Alumni Association, Ms. Bisma Askari, is requested to proceed to the front stage to give the IVS Alumni Award to the recipient.
The IVS Alumni Award for the year 2019 goes to Alina Khwaja from the Department of Communication Design. Arsalan Ahmed from the Department of Textile Design, and Lujain Bakar Akhtar Pagawala from the Department of Fine Art will receive certificates for honorable mention.
The management of Indus Valley School of Art and Architecture wishes to acknowledge the dedication and commitment of 3 faculty members and 2 staff members, completing 10 years of continuous service at Indus Valley School of Art and Architecture.
May I request the Chairman, Executive Committee, Mr. Adnan Asdar, to come forward and present these awards. The first 10-year service award goes to Associate Professor Adila Suleiman. The second 10-year service award goes to Associate Professor Tazeen Hussain. The third 10-year service award goes to Assistant Professor Sana Safdar Birni. The fourth 10-year service award goes to Mr. Rashid Noorani. Since Mr. Noorani is traveling abroad, his wife will receive the award on his behalf. The fifth 10-year service award goes to Mr. Muhammad Salahuddin.
May I request the chairman of the executive committee, Mr. Adnan Asdar, to present the concluding remarks.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. I think for today, आप लोग जिस काम के लिए आए थे वो तमाम पूरा हो चुका है. मेरा काम आपको मजीद 3-4 मिनट इधर रोकना है. Help me with it. First of all, Kamil Khan Mumtaz Sahab, our learned keynote speaker today, Professor Sahab, honorable members of the Board of Governors, other statutory bodies of IVS, our vibrant faculty, the visionary parents, and our exceptional students, Assalamu alaikum. I'm extremely grateful to Professor Kamil Khan Mumtaz, who pointed out about the climate change issues, and starting from and for younger people like yourselves, he quoted Greta, the 13-year-old girl from Europe. And I think what you need to take back from there is you should be asking us, just like Greta, how dare you leave the world like this for us? I think that's an important message. And I want to have that emphasized because that's something that I'm not saying that there were language restrictions on your end, but just in case you didn't get it, I think what he was telling that students like yourselves should be asking that very directly from us, and that's the type of challenge that you should be getting into. And his concluding remarks, of course, when he quoted Faiz, and when he suggests, Bol ke lab azad hai tere, bol zaban ab teri hai. I think these two lines from Professor's talk earlier today, I think it's very important and for something for all of you as young graduates to take back. It's my utmost privilege to congratulate the students and their parents on this momentous day and recognize the hard work that has been put in the students throughout their time at IVS. Looking back at the year 2019, we can clearly see the school's progress on the initial goals envisaged in the strategy of 2025 for parents and for teachers. For teachers, of course, and the faculty, they're all aware of it, that the Board of Governors a few years ago put up a strategy of the vision for 2025, and within that, the launch of the first interdisciplinary graduate program by the school was one of the most important goals in the Vision 2025, which I'm delighted, you've already heard about it from Ms. Samina, to announce has been substantially accomplished by the untiring efforts of the Executive Director, Samina Khan, Dean of Academics, Dr. Asma, and of course, the most important Director, Graduate Studies, Sadia Salim. Thank you very much, all three of you, and especially Sadia for putting this together. And our first batch is already, inshallah ta'ala, from next term, the first batch of graduate students will be coming in. Ladies and gentlemen, somebody once said that bridges are more difficult to build than walls, as the purpose of is to ensure the gift of diversity is not curled into the curse of division, and that's why bridges are being built. This can be achieved only by challenging misconceptions that we all have about our work, our faith, and what we are worth. Dear students, and specifically the graduating class, some of them I believe are also over there, those privileged with education have an immense responsibility of contributing to the society and their country and towards the overall well-being of the people in large. The sky is the limit for you to achieve. Challenge all the hindrances and obstacles, and I assure you that you will succeed. History is replete with examples of people who have achieved what apparently seemed impossible. As an IVS graduate, it's important to put your education into action as citizens of a global society, something very similar to what Professor Mumtaz suggested, and I think it's becoming more and more immediately after you. I think you've already received your degree, so your responsibility starts right away. I encourage you to get to know and work closely with the community and organizations where you live and surround you, to think critically about representations of race, gender, and class in the art that you create, and I encourage you to embrace every opportunity to collaborate and work with people from other disciplines. Gender, I have to make a little comment over here. I think we have a different sort of a gender bias in this institution. I believe it's a 90-10 favoring the ladies, so I think we should encourage a little bit more men, at least as a minimum of what the founding members were, at least, which is almost 40-60. But nevertheless, young ladies, what I encourage you and would like to be able to say was this, and this is true for Pakistan, and I think this is very important. I thought I'd take this opportunity to let you know. Approximately 65 to 70%, because the valedictorian suggested about the engineers and doctors, and I could not sort of not say this, but about 65 to 70%, and the ratio in medical schools is similar, by the way, where there are about 80% female students graduating out and 20% male. And out of the 80%, 65% do not continue to practice. This is something, is a responsibility that I'm letting you know, and your parents sitting over here. This is not acceptable. For whatever reasons they may be, I think you've got a fantastic degree and a fantastic education. Just look at your teachers over there. Just look at the ladies who continue to perform over there. And there's no reason for you to not to be able to do that. And now that I'm here, also let you know that when you choose your spouses, you should be looking at that also an indicator. They should let you continue, please. Okay, if some of you have already decided, go back and renegotiate. What does such a mission statement mean for you as students, as graduates? And what does that mean for my colleagues, my fellow faculty, staff, and administrators? What does it mean today? What will it mean tomorrow? The IVS mission isn't just to embrace a mindset of critical thinking and cross-disciplinary. But what to do with that mindset is important. What you will do and deliver and of course endure and then deliver is what we have to strive to put into action. By sticking our necks out, it needs to be embodied, it needs to be an embodied experience. Dear students, your education was founded in the Faculty of Design, Liberal Arts, and the Fine Arts. When you first came here, we supported you and challenged you and helped you find and raise your voice. Interacting with faculty and staff colleagues, your teachers, your scholarship, your daily work contributes to that education. Diverse engagement with a global society, while at the heart of the is at the heart of the IVS mission, it's not enough. Your personal mission and values will evolve through and with your education and experience over the years ahead. How exciting and how challenging that would be. I think it is for you to look at a little bit more openly what we've just been talking about. Another point I need to emphasize is on shared, this is the last point that I'm going to share and another few examples. Another point I need to emphasize on is shared governance, which is almost hidden within the stated mission and values of the school. It has the fraught potential to become an empty term, almost a jargon, unless we make it something meaningful. Shared governance is caring enough to take thoughtful, respectful, informed decisions and acting on them. So my dear students, I implore you, as difficult as may be, as busy as that you will be, pay attention to what's happening beyond the boundaries of this campus. Very important. So that in 2 or 3 decades from now, when people ask you what it takes to live through this remarkable period of turbulence in our nation and in our world, you'll have a ready answer. And I'm sure you'll be asked what you did or what you do. I wish for all of you an answer you'll be proud to give, not only to yourselves, to your parents, and to the teachers, and all of us at IVS. Finally, a word of parents graduating after 2019. As parents, encourage and empower your children to take the biggest challenges of our time and meaningfully contribute to the society where they choose to live and the world at large. This is very important for the parents. Most importantly, please remember that the visual artists not only provide pleasure and creative inspiration, they also foster dialogue and bringing more important issues to the public eye. Here, I want to remind you, my dear parents, that your child's actions and works will at times be challenged by individuals and society. You as parents need to be seen standing right next to them in their pursuit of truth and honor. Very recently, they have seen these examples being pursued even in our institute, where wherever a student or a faculty or any staff member has stood there, your children have witnessed that how the entire community stands behind them. So you as parents need to encourage them and be right next to them whenever they go out and challenge. Two things, once again, for the graduating class. What you're entering into in your professional life is what they call from the 3rd, 4th, or 5th generation. This is more technology, and your digital, I am sure most of you are now familiar with, and you'll need to be exploiting it. The single most important thing mashallah, you're all mashallah equipped with your degrees and your experiences in your specific area of the field. But what you will learn very soon is that the most difficult job as you progress in this society is not the machines anymore, is managing knowledge workers. Managing knowledge workers is one of the most difficult tasks for this century, and you need to get into the social sciences and anthropological studies and works of people, how people behave and how they do. And I would like you to start doing it as early as possible. And we have a fantastic department of social sciences over here now, which sort of encourages you to take that. So don't think that it was just a elective that you took and it will not be of use. I have taken several courses in engineering, which I don't see any use for, and what has been useful are the social sciences courses that I took, other than underwater basket weaving. I had to get an A somewhere. Finally, bachas, what I need to tell you is that some of you will stay here, and some of you may, for whatever reasons, may go abroad. You will go out and adopt a new culture. You will adopt new friends, new families, new pets. You can adopt pets, you can adopt neighbors, but what you will never be able to adopt, my young fellows, is a mother. This country is your mother, beta. And as it grows old, it will need you more and more. So always stay connected. Remember that your mother is here, and stay connected to them. I would like to end this brief address by once again congratulating all the students, their parents and family members, and of course the faculty members, the staff of IVS, the Board of Governors, the Executive Committee, all the statutory bodies, and of course may you all succeed in your individual and collective endeavors. I thank you very much for being here, and may Allah keep you all blessed always. Good luck.
The Registrar will now request the Chairman, Executive Committee, Mr. Adnan Asdar, to declare the convocation closed.
May I request the Chairman, Executive Committee, to declare the convocation closed.
This is simple. I declare the convocation closed. Good luck. Thank everybody.
The graduating students are requested to reassemble near the Turtle Pond for the tree planting ceremony immediately after the departure of the procession. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly remain seated until after the academic procession departs, when further announcements will be made.